us know how many of your weddings come from directly from Instagram ads.
So last year, the conversion was about 80% from Instagram ads, 20% referral.
How much revenue do you apply to your Instagram ads?
Over the year, 10 to 15%. Don't try and overcomplicate things. It's honestly just about testing. It's about, to be honest.
Hey, be sure you stick around because we're only getting warmed up.
So, good afternoon, everybody. How are we doing? So, if you are a wedding supplier and you're interested to know about how Instagram ads can work well for your business, we have got the absolute master on today for today's podcast. And I'm so pleased he's here because I've tried to boost some posts recently on Instagram, not to much success. And I know it's a big question on a lot of wedding suppliers' lips is, how do I maximize Instagram and how do I use Instagram ads? So without further ado, we're going to introduce this man today, and I'm excited about this one. We have Matt from PS Visuals joining us. How are we doing, Matt? You okay, mate?
I'm very well, very well. Just peak season and busy. I'm sure everyone is.
Isn't it? Isn't it?
You say that, but your busy is going to look different to a lot of people's busy that are listening to this. I
Yeah.
know it's another videographer, and there'll be people listening that have different services, but in videography world, you do way more than everyone else. So we will get.
But I think what Matt's going to be talking about is going to apply to every single wedding industry business across.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
everybody needs to know this skill. And as far as we know, you are the one person who's really crushing it and really making it work for you and your business. So yeah, glad to have you on, mate. Right, starting point, Sads. Where are we going?
Well, let's just go with the amount of weddings that you do generally, or this year, last year, etc.
So 120 last year, which I think was the hook line for Rue's podcast. It was like all that anyone wanted to talk about. But then I've cut down to 100 this year. I tried to go to 80, but when they come in and you can't.
It's cut down to 100.
Cut down to 100.
Yeah.
I cut down to 30.
Mate, do you know what? Because and I know from your chat with Rue, you're charging good money as well. It's not like you're a volume like 500 quid a wedding, and that's why you're doing these numbers. I remember getting advice from someone. I was going up the price brackets when I was starting out.
Yeah.
£2,000, pushing 2.5, pushing £3,000, and it got to a point I was always doing 40, 50 a year, and then someone said to me, if you keep pushing your price up, they're going to drop off, and you're not going to do many, but it's okay because you're charging more.
Yeah.
I want to do that many, and I want to still charge that much. No,
Yeah.
can't be done. Can't be done.
Yeah.
And nobody's really proved that point wrong until I came across you. So I mean, feel free to not divulge, but I know you're charging good money, and we're sort of comparable on prices. But then you've cut down to 100 weddings a year. It's outrageous.
So I suppose the question here then is, out of your 100 or 120 weddings a year, how many of those come directly from Instagram ads? I know we're going to get into the type of ads, that you use and that you sort of recommend, but just let us know how many of your weddings come directly from Instagram ads.
So last year, the conversion was about 80% from Instagram ads, 20% referral. It has changed slightly this year, so it's about 70% Instagram ads, 30% referral. So the referral's gone up a bit more, but it's still like a significant impact.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because I mean, I think for most, like I do 30 or so a year, and they just I never really turn down any that I'm available for, and it just kind of balances out at that. And I think most videographers, and there'll be a comparable amount in any service where we're doing our social medias, we're doing our networking and referrals, and we're getting a certain number. And it's to get those bigger numbers, you've got to do the additional marketing, which is what you're.
Yeah.
Another question that's interesting to me then. So, how much revenue do you apply to your Instagram ads on a yearly basis?
Over the year, 10 to 15%. So quite a chunk. But I think the more people that are in the space and aware of the ads, which I think significantly changed after the Rue podcast as well. Obviously, the less bang for your buck that you get in per ad, because if there's 10 people bidding on the ad, for example,
okay,
you won't be shown in the same way as if there were 2 people bidding on the ad, because you'd only have to. The way it works on the algorithm is the more you're putting in. So if your budget was like £1,000 a day, for example, you would be appearing everywhere non-stop because when Instagram decides who's the top bidder for that ad, it would be you, because they could whittle away at the budget that you've set out. The smaller your budget is and the more people involved in the niche, the less you're going to get bang for your buck, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's good. We're going to get into the bones of how to actually set an ad up and your recommendations in a bit. That I think that's going to be amazing to learn. So I'm going to guess then that your ad spend a year is going to be between 15 and 25 grand a year, something like that.
Yeah, I'll say about that. Yeah.
Which is fine if you generate the revenue that you are through your business, which is great. Um, wow.
Is it getting more competitive then, do you think?
Yes, 100%. Without being crude about it, last year was like printing money. This year, there's much more graft and kickback and price shopping and all the rest of it. And I think that is a lot more people coming into the space and being aware of marketing and ads and stuff like that. Do you know what? I think the Rue podcast was probably a direct contributor to that, but I'm not mad. Like, yeah, literally, mate. I want us all to win though. I'm like genuinely because the amount of dates, like I've got dates this year where I've got 16 different inquiries. Like I cannot possibly fill every single date. Like I'm happy to create that community where I can't do it, so you can't do it, so I can't. Like
Great.
And I think there's genuinely more than enough for that. I think the scarcity mentality comes into it a bit more when people are struggling, which I understand. But genuinely, if you just look at the statistics, like outside of anyone, just how many weddings actually happen and stuff like that, and the budgets, like it is there for everyone.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And also because then what them ads are them doing for you indirectly for all those ones that the ads are bringing you, but you can't do, so you're passing on. So then
Yeah.
it's growing and you're getting referrals back. You
Yeah.
scratch yours.
So any wannabe videographers needs to be friends with Matt because they're going to get like referrals chucked at him and it's costing nothing. So
And it's nice that you're helping everyone else out, but then that's only comes good on you as well, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Your
of course it does.
authority and your network and things.
So I want to. So my understanding with I've never really done any paid advertising. I've always, and it's probably the same with Adam, not done too much. We've always relied on referrals. We talk a lot about building a great network, having good relationships with venues, keeping up social media, having your website on point, and things like that, like those kind of traditional sense of marketing, if you like. But
Yeah.
nothing ever paid. But I've dabbled over the years, every now and again, tried a little bit. So my understanding with Instagram is you can pretty much only boost your posts, and the audience that you boost it to, you can put down people's interests. But as well as I'm also aware that I don't think you can directly target a wedding venue per se through an Instagram boosted post. But are there any other ways you can do it? Is it better going on the actual Facebook business suite and setting the advert up on there, but then for it to show on Instagram only? Or do you do it directly on the Instagram app and go through the process that way? So what's the best way to do it? The best way to set an advert up on Instagram?
So there's 2 points. The practical and applicable point is do it on Instagram. Do it through the website so you don't get that stupid Apple charge or whatever it is, which is extortionate.
Yeah.
And I actually keep it very vague. So a lot of people I've spoke to have gone into the is it Meta Manager or whatever it is, and really gone like deep. They've whittled it down to like so specific, and I don't know why. Like I can't actually explain this, but it doesn't work out as well.
You mean as in your audience?
Yeah, so your audience being vague actually helps.
Okay.
Again, I'm not sure that would be applicable to, say you were selling a product, that might be the opposite. But for what we do, I think maybe because it's a service, that more broad audience really helps.
Just do what Instagram would recommend as your audience and just leave it.
No, never that. No,
I just like to rewind a little bit. So I boosted these posts last week. I did 2 of them. I did one of them via the Instagram app.
Yeah.
And then I spoke to my friend about it, and he said, "Oh, don't do it through the app. Do it through Meta because you don't get the charge."
You can just do it for a browser. You can literally go on your phone and just go on like Safari
Oh,
and
so
do
do
it
it
that.
on Instagram, but on a browser rather than on your phone on the app.
Yeah, because just to avoid that charge. It's a stupid.
Just to take it back
Yeah.
further for anyone listening, when you boosting a post on Instagram on the app, if you're on iPhone, Apple charge an extra fee on top, don't they?
Yes. Yeah, I should give the context of what I'm talking about,
So
to be fair.
it was 20 quid, the fee.
Yeah, it's extortion.
See,
20 quid. So then I did it on Meta Business and I didn't get the charge.
Yeah.
but you
So
don't need
it's
to. So you can bypass that just by going into a browser and
So I've got it
yeah,
up my Instagram on the browser, and that'll get you bypass the Apple charge. Right. Okay. So that's some really
yeah,
good information for people who are just going to do it on the normal
yeah.
app and get charged. Right. So I wish I'd have had this conversation last week with you.
so you've got Meta ads, and then you've got boosted posts. That's it, isn't it? There's the two. You can run an ad through Meta, or you can do boost the post on Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah. And Meta is you can get very, very, very specific
Yeah.
Yeah. We've done it before
Meta, which
with one of my other
is usually
Sorry, go on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, it's usually a great thing, like especially if you were pushing a specific product that was relevant to like a really certain niche or whatever. But just for experimentation, I've found that being vague with it for what we do just works so much better.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah. So I would have thought if you, I thought the best way to ever do adverts with be Facebook or Instagram was go into the Meta Suite, set your advert up, choose the audience. Say I want to target, I don't know, Wyesdale Park wedding venue, whittle it down and put that as my audience, people that follow that venue or that follow Bartle Hall or,
Yeah.
Melbourne Manor and do it that way. But you're saying just keep it more broad.
So for me personally, I mean, it is what works for your business as well. For me personally, I don't mind traveling if the couple are really fit or the venue's really good. Do you know what I mean? I don't mind kind of
I agree.
pushing out a bit more. But for some people, like I've got a photographer mate who's absolutely amazing, and I said to him the other day, like, mate, you could be smashing Europe, you could, and he was just like, I'm not interested. I only want to work half an hour from my house, get the bookings, and I'm like, cool, that's fine. So it is for what works for your business, but for me personally, I literally do females because obviously men aren't the purchasers, the women are buying. Females 25 to 36, I think, which is about that kind of engagement wedding age. In England, interested in weddings. It's that vague. It's honestly that vague. And you can whittle down to areas if you wanted to be more specific. You could say like,
Well, let's do a bit of an exercise then. Let's say, right, you've got an idea, you want to do an advert on Instagram as a boosted post. The starting point is the video and the content you're going to use for that advert. So let's start there and then go through the process of how you would actually set that ad up. So right from the beginning, it comes down to content, I imagine. So what sort of content really works well for you in your industry, or what you'd recommend for people?
So shameless plug for Rue's masterclass. I actually give like a full-on walkthrough of this with the visuals as well. But yeah, I'll talk you through it. Basically,
yeah,
yeah, it's going to be good. You're on that, aren't you, Adam? I think.
No. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's basically the first thing I'll do is figure out if it's going to be my ideal kind of audience, or I'll kind of analyze the video to begin with to make sure it's on brand. It probably hasn't reached Instagram if it isn't on brand anyway, but I really want specifics when I get to the point where I'm pushing an ad. So a specific venue that I really want, or a specific type of wedding that I really want. And then once I've decided that, I'll then go through, apply everything to it, figure out how much I'm going to boost it and how long for. Because again, it depends where I'm at. If I'm like completely sorted for the year after, or bookings are really good, I'll pull back. And if I'm really like, oh, I want to get more in, I'll really go harder with it.
Just to rewind a little bit.
Sorry, yeah.
What length of film would you recommend, or what works best in your experience for the length?
Well, is it
of
what
the
you're
advert?
posting? Is it reels or is it like?
Yeah, it's reels.
Video based,
I never really work on specific ads.
So that's going to be a minute
so
and a half,
it's
then, isn't it?
yeah. So anything over a minute and a half, you can't boost anyway.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Would you recommend a minute and a half, or would you recommend a minute
or less?
or less?
I reckon they're probably only watching the first 30 seconds anyway. So I'd say 30 seconds minimum, minute and a half maximum. I prefer to go the minute and a half just because if you've got them hooked in the first few seconds, you're then kind of doubling down on this is what I can do. um, and I think that that also impacts the way that I edit the reels as well. So the first couple of seconds, if you can get any kind of emotional hook or any kind of, because what a lot of videographers will do uh, is start from bridal prep when everyone's got no makeup on and no one's wearing anything. And it's not the wow shot. Like what I try and do is start with the wow shot. And then it doesn't matter if you do tell the story chronologically, but that first 5 seconds, you need to whether it's like the dad crying or the bridesmaids crying or some really nice vows, or it has to be something
Something
that's going
that's
to hook people.
going to catch their attention and make them watch more. Yeah.
Yeah, what I've really started pulling away from is the drone shot at the beginning, which I know is a massive videographer debate. Um, but for me, it's purely because of trying to hook people in.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
So
people inherently are selfish. So they want
yeah,
the best wedding. And how do we get it? A beautiful drone shot of the start of an advertising video is not it's not going to hook them. But if you
no,
start with a clear quote that thinks, shit, yeah, and this is something I need to think about. Uh,
yeah.
another, I know I keep going back on this, but do you put captions on your on when it's an advert as well?
I don't. A lot of people say that you should. I personally don't, just because I never have. But I wouldn't advise against it or anything like that. I think it's definitely a good shout because a lot of people watch videos with the sound off as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, do you
yeah.
wary of that? Do you put subtitles on and things, or?
No, I probably should start doing that to be honest. But it's more of a habit thing to be honest, rather than an optimization.
So,
Right. Okay. So you've got the vid. You
well,
know it's how
hold
long
on.
it's
So
going to be.
you're posting it as a reel and then boosting it, I presume. You're not making like any
Yeah,
are you? So
yeah,
you
that's it.
Yeah, but you're making it in mind. So when you do that, you're actually going to make that little advert in mind. This is going to be an advert.
Yeah, so every edit I do when it is put together, the way I think about it, the longer film is for the couple. So that needs to just look like the most creative piece of beautiful work ever, right? The ceremony and speech is obviously just for the couple. The highlights just for the couple. The reel needs to be relevant for the business as well. So when I'm putting the reel together, obviously first and foremost, I want to impress the couple, but I'm also always editing them with that in mind,
Got it.
that it needs to have a hook, it needs to be engaging, and it needs to have all that. And it's a big part of the reason why a lot of my editing is outsourced. Like a good when I get a project back, 80% of it's probably finished, and I'm going back in and finessing and recoloring and personalizing it, basically making sure it's exactly how I want it.
Yeah.
But
There's a
I,
whole podcast on that one topic.
yeah, yeah. But I never have and never will outsource the reels. So everything on Instagram is start to finish from me. And the reason for that is I need full creative control over that. Like every single second counts on them reels, like every single second. So every shot in there needs to be on point. Every like the first 5 to 10 seconds are crucial with like just making it stand out a bit basically because we're in a sea of like really competent good videographers. Like you can't get away with average anymore, really.
for the non-videographers that are listening to us, I know that you're editing these reels in software away from Instagram.
Yeah.
Not everyone's got the skills or know how to do that, but would you recommend that they try and figure out the reel and make it and plan it
Yeah. Yeah.
away?
The same. This.
Like
Yeah.
just putting it on and editing it within Instagram and stuff, it's never going to work as well, is it?
Probably not. But you know what? I think that's more of a practical element. I think the execution, if you stick to that kind of method and that kind of just keep that in mind, emotional hook in the first 5 seconds,
Mhm.
like it doesn't matter if it's phone footage. We've seen that like with stuff that's gone viral. Um,
Yeah.
when TikTok really started blowing up, nearly everything that went viral on there was not professionally shot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it is just about the concept more than the execution. For us, I think it matters a lot more because that's what's expected of us. We're videographers; it has to be polished and look like a film. And
I think a general wedding, supplier, whatever it is you do, you can get CapCut, you can get other bits of software that are really easy to use, and I think that is enough. I mean, I watched a video with Gary V, I think yesterday, and he was chatting to somebody who's made all these amazing promotional videos, not really hit much. And he just did a really shit one of him just talking, walking around, and he said it got millions of views.
Yeah,
Spent thousands of these professional videos, and this is the one that's brought him all his business. So, yeah, the point is, you don't
yeah.
really, it's super flashy. Your industry is visuals. You're selling that product, so it's a bit more important. But I think across the board, it's not 100%. It doesn't matter 100%, does it?
So are you literally boosting everything that you post, or do you just?
No, no. So obviously staying active on socials is like the bread and butter of what we do. And I need to drive this home as well because the amount of people that say to me they're struggling on bookings, and then I say, "Oh, what are you doing for Instagram or TikTok or some kind of social media?" And they go, "Oh, I don't really do it." And I'm like, "Well, like you can't have it both ways. Like you have to work hard at it to get something out of it." Um, but yeah, so I try and keep it busy anyway. But not everything is going to be your absolute ideal because obviously whatever you're pushing out is exactly the kind of bookings you're going to get back. Um, Down to a ridiculously detailed level. Like one year, I had a lot of blonde brides. The year after, I booked a load of blonde brides. Like it sounds stupid, but people will look at the work and they want to see themselves down to a T. So
Mirroring
yeah,
psychology, isn't it? It's mirroring
yeah, yeah,
psychology. So yeah, look at that girl with blonde. I've got blonde hair. She's
yeah.
wow. That could be my wedding. Or
But it's
yeah,
things like
If
this is a piece of advice in video world. It's things like accents and like when we're
yeah,
showcasing speeches and they've got Geordie accents, then you're naturally going to attract people from that area, or
yeah.
it's at a certain venue
yeah.
and it's going to relate to people that are also going to that venue versus or a similar venue if it's a barn wedding or country house, whatever.
I want
Yeah,
to.
it's
I
the
want to.
specifics are
Yeah,
really
yeah,
important.
they are definitely. I want to bring it back to the real practical level again. So you've got your advert. You know this is going to be one that I'm going to boost. You have to upload it on Instagram first before you can have the option of boosting it, I guess. Um, so you've got it there. You've uploaded it onto Instagram. It's on your grid. What's your next move then? Talk us through it as if we're really stupid, because I am really stupid.
So
You don't know what we're doing.
so but basically I'll put a reel together and then I'll figure out if it's specifically what I want. So for example, this year my destination are completely booked out. I literally don't want anymore because I'm out the country every single month doing something and I've got kids and stuff. So it's not good for me. So I don't want anymore. So I won't push anything that's destination, even though it looks really cool, even though like you've got all the fancy Lake Como shots and all that. It's not what I'm trying to book. So that's on the back burner.
It's good for reputation for couples.
Yeah,
When you're an
it's
international.
brilliant. It's
Yeah,
brilliant for brand. It's
yeah.
brilliant for brand. And destination weddings actually improve your UK weddings, which doesn't necessarily make sense, but it does. So you have to get really specific on like really actually consciously think about, okay, I want to book this type of wedding. I want more of this type of wedding to fill out this, this gap or whatever. And so hopefully you're shooting enough to have a plethora of content to choose from, basically.
Yeah.
So you're going to pick out kind of what specifically you want to push and you want to book, and then you're going to get behind that. Also, I'd recommend having multiple ads at any one time. So rather than lumping into one ad, if you've got the budget, I'd split it between at least three, just so you can kind of gauge, okay, this one's absolutely flying, this one isn't doing as well. And again, that's going to come down to what appeals to people. It's not necessarily what you think it might be. So for us, like, for me and Adam, we might see a venue and go, wow, that is like, we love that venue and that's beautiful. And and we go down that route and what we think is going to work. But then actually you'll upload the clip where in the first 5 seconds, the bridesmaids are crying and that absolutely just goes. And so the return and the ads on that is absolutely flying. So then you'll push more into that and maybe pull back from that other one. So you're just constantly testing kind of where the algorithm will tell you where to put your money, basically.
So you've got your ad there. You know which way you want it, what you want it to do. You're looking for these particular type of weddings, and you create the content around it. You've put it on your grid. What's the next stage from there? Obviously, you hit the bit that says boost post, and then you've got a lot of options. Take it from there.
Right. Sorry, you want a step by step? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So I'm always driving people towards my profile rather than messages or website.
So
I've
drive back to your Instagram profile. So
Yeah,
that
yeah. So
note here, go to my website, learn more, send me a message, or go to profile, and you pick out going to profile.
always pick out go to profile. The reason being as well, there's a massive positive side effect of it, which is that your followers will start boosting, but it's not scammy Chinese followers that you've paid for. This is like real potential clients that are just flooding in, and it'll boost your follower count naturally. So even though it's paid and not organic, you're still getting the desired effect, and you're running your advert. So it's like a really positive double whammy, basically. And that's why I say to people, if you're not advertising, you need to start advertising, because that's another question I get all the time. Your follower count is massive. How have you done this? And I'm like, well, I'm smashing organic content. I'm smashing paid content. I'm attacking from all angles. So it's it's like it's just like multiplying.
So that's the button you press. Go to your profile, and then I suppose then they get to see your grid and they get more invested in you. They look through all your other your posts and your reels, and then you'll get the inquiry from there. So that's the first stage then. So that's where you want people to be directed to. What's the next step?
Yeah. Well, ironically, that process will actually bring them to your website, which is kind of goes against a lot of marketing guru stuff, because the idea is that it should be one click and they should be on your contact form and it should be as direct as possible. But again, for what we do, this is what I found works. I've driven people directly to the website before. It does work. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but it's just not quite as effective. And messages as well. I've just secured like a dream booking off the messages route. So again, it does work. I set up a WhatsApp business number and I started driving traffic to that. Just because I'm always trying new stuff, because algorithms always change. So you can't the method that works now might not work in 6 months. Like that's how fast it is. Um, but also there's like I'll call it Amazon Prime culture. Like no one wants to wait for anything. Everyone wants everything now. So if you've got a point of contact where someone can text and get an answer in 5 minutes, like for me, I would personally like that. That's why I tried that. Again, got an amazing booking off the back of it, but I just don't get the bulk with that. The bulk really comes from driving them to my profile. And also you can create kind of it's like an anchor. So you've got them in, you've got them to follow, then they might forget about you. They might just get on with their life. Everyone's busy. But what's then going to happen is because you're organically staying active,
Yeah,
you're hitting their grid every week.
yeah.
You're hitting their stories every week. And then it's like, oh yeah, uh, I remember Matt now.
You, well,
Um, I'll get in touch.
you hit on the key there is to also be keeping going with the organic content and mixing up your posts and still doing
Yeah, yeah.
and showing your face and all that sort of stuff.
What I'm going to do, Adam, if this is all right with you, I've got this up. You might not be able to see it. It's
No, we can't.
it's basically
Give me 1 second.
I've just gone onto
Give me
my
1 second.
I've just gone onto my grid, and I've hit boost, and my first thing that I've got here, it says visit your profile. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna record this so we can maybe incorporate into the video, Adam.
Right.
Let's walk through it together. So I've opened up my Instagram, I've hit boost, and I've got four options: visit your profile, visit your website, message you, or a mix of actions. So I'm gonna hit visit your profile and click next. Now we've got who should see your ad. We've got special requirements or suggested audience.
Create your
And
own.
then we've got create your own at the bottom.
Always create your own. The reason I don't do suggested is because what the algorithm will do is kind of study who you follow and followers and all the rest of it, and build an audience off that. The issue with that, when you're a videographer or a photographer, a wedding supplier in general, is you're going to have a shitload of other suppliers. So what's going to happen, and I've done it loads of times where I've accidentally like forgot to change it. What's going to happen is you'll get loads of other videographers and photographers following you, which is great for like brand and networking,
Yeah.
but not who you're trying to sell to.
Get that right. So my next thing here is I've got some options. So the top one is actually a use Advantage Plus audience, which is it says it's recommended. It's actually automatically switched on. And then I've got below that I've got locations, I've got minimum age, and then I've got audience suggestions.
Go on then. So you go back to what you do for your audience. You go females. You go age
Yeah,
range 25 to 30.
female. 25 to 36. And then I just choose England. But obviously, if you want to get more specific, you can. You can go like Cheshire or whatever.
Just rewind to where I was. Sorry. So I've got use advantage plus audience, which is automatically on. Do you keep that on?
I don't. I'll turn that off.
You take that off. All right. And then you've got locations here. I've got regional or local. So would you just put in the towns or the cities where you want to generate the work from?
No, I literally type in England.
England, right.
Yeah.
So
But again, that's more specific to me because if you don't want to travel more than an hour away, you might go for specific,
right. So
like
in England,
Yeah.
it's age and gender. So we're going to go female. And what was your age again?
25 to 36.
25 to 36.
He's just using this to make himself an ad.
No, I'm not.
And
I'm doing it for the
And then tomorrow, we'll be
doing
like,
it for
look
the
at my ad
video.
doing well.
So I've got locations, got
Interest.
got age, and so now we've got interests.
I literally go for weddings, wedding videography. Leave it at that.
So if you, whatever industry you're in, just put that as
Well
your
then,
interest.
Weddings. You've committed.
Weddings, wedding singer, I guess for you, yeah.
So I've got weddings, top one there, and then you can have you can add another interest or whatever. So for me, like wedding entertainment would probably be one, wouldn't it?
I'm just gonna might be skipping ahead, but I'm gonna ask what kind of metrics are you looking for to decide what's performing well versus what's not? Like you.
So yeah, so I'm just going to go back. So I've typed in wedding entertainment. I've got no suggestions.
Yeah, because I carry on.
So I've typed in wedding entertainment. There's nothing there. There's lots of different things for wedding, like wedding photography, wedding cake, wedding videography, wedding planners.
Your service isn't important
My
enough.
service is not on here.
Is there not music or something like that? Surely there is.
Wedding music, wedding band,
Wedding singer, wedding band, wedding music.
singing waiters.
Yeah, okay. All right. So, just trying to go through the process just for the benefit of the viewers, the people watching the video.
Yeah.
Right. So
He's trying to do this for the benefit of the people watching our audio podcast.
we put it on YouTube.
Fair.
No.
Yeah, we get about
Right.
20 views on YouTube.
Got to add a name, right? Okay, wedding shit.
This is usual levels of dysfunctionality.
Weddings ad. Right. Okay. Now, okay. Who should see your ad? Special requirements.
You've done it. That's your audience,
Yeah,
right?
my audience. Yeah. Then we've got the duration and daily budget.
So I always go for set duration just because you can keep a better tab on how much you're spending. That's more of a practical thing. I was told by an expert at Meta that the longer you can run an ad, the more effective it is because the algorithm will learn who to push your ad to over time.
So you a long duration and maybe a smaller daily budget.
Yeah, definitely.
Long duration.
Okay.
So I would go for so I'd go to like 15 to 30 days, something like that. That's long enough to kind of test. And then budget wise, again, depends how much you want to spend. I wouldn't go lower than £5 a day.
So would you say a starting point, say £7 a day?
What
Yeah, spot on. Say again, sorry.
What are you spending on yours?
Again, it really depends. Like if I'm trying to absolutely smash bookings in, then I'll obviously whack it way up. As high as like £10 a day if I'm really trying to push something.
Okay, so I'm just trying to wonder what's the top end. Did you go 50 quid a day or?
No. Typically, I think the maximum I'll probably do is £10 a day, really. I did one last month recently where I upped the budget massively, just as more of an experiment. So I did over 1 month, I did £1,000. Just I want to see what would happen, basically. And it was interesting because the inquiries, there was loads of them, but I also felt like the quality wasn't as high. So it was almost as if Instagram was trying to spend the budget that I'd given it.
Yeah.
But it had gone past the super relevant audience and was kind of just getting anyone by the end so it could spend the budget.
Yeah, I got you. So if you've set a budget, it will spend it.
Yeah. So it's definitely, that's why like testing and just trying things out is so important, because if you put 10 grand in over a month, for example, it would find a way to spend 10 grand. So it's like it's something to be aware of. And I know people that run their maintenance ads as well, where they'll just have over 30 days, they'll have like £3 a day or something. they know they're not going to smash loads of bookings off it, but they're just trying to like keep the brand out, keep the followers slowly building. Almost, yeah, like I say, like a maintenance type ad.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, it's a good question. Do you have any evergreen ads that you just have it on all the time?
Yeah,
Go to my page, sort of thing.
yeah. So I have three that are kind of, yeah, like you said, it's a good phrase for it, actually, evergreen ads. That are just kind of lower budget but constantly on, just to keep a trickle feed. And it's kind of like fishing with bait. Like the more bait you put on, the more chance you've got of catching something. But if you've got your rod in with any kind of bait, you still might catch, you might get lucky and catch something really good. So yeah,
What did
it's
you
it's
get?
all about experimenting and mixing it up. And
Sure. What did you get in that month where you spent £1,000? How many inquiries do you remember?
oh God, I haven't got the statistics on it. It was loads though. But like I say,
Because it
it
sounds a lot,
was
but then if you do, it's a numbers game, isn't it? If that's
yeah,
generating X amount, then it's worth it all day long.
it
Yeah.
did like I say though, it did become I found quantity over quality,
Yeah.
which obviously isn't
There's a
isn't
balance.
ideal.
I think it's really important
There's
though,
a balance. There is always a balance.
because organic content isn't hitting like it used to, and this is the only way really to get
No, no, no.
them views back. I was just going to ask you about you've got your sort of trickle ads which you've always got going. Are you using the ads that have been most successful for you in other campaigns maybe, and you thought that's worked really well? I'm going to trickle that one, but I'm going to continue to do some split testing on these other ones. So it's basically kind of a two-loaded question really.
Yeah,
And then say you split test in two or three different videos. Will they be different in content? Is one more going to be more instructional? One's more beautiful. One's more directed at a bride with dark hair. Do you know how do you what? Say you're going to put three videos out. What sort of content would they be?
so I usually will have like for the evergreen ads. Are you asking?
Well, across the board, really. I mean, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I thought the evergreen ads was for me would be like your previous most successful ads that you've got loads of bookings from there. That's been really
yeah.
good. I'm going to lower the budget on that one, keep it trickling. I'm going to test with maybe three other videos. So it's the content. Which ones?
Yeah, it's exactly that. So for the evergreen ones, I just pick out like the absolute bangers that I know will kind of just instantly impress people, brand awareness, get the followers, like all that's for all of that. Not necessarily directly bookings, but if bookings do come off the back of it, that's brilliant. And then the split testing, the more targeted ads are, say I've been to a venue that I really want to get more bookings at, or a certain type of bride where I'm like, that was if I could plan what bride I would have to shoot that day, it would be that bride. Um, and again, like I say, it's so specific. They want to see themselves in the videos, so you have to be so aware of what you're putting out because it is directly what you'll get back.
Got it, got it. So can you? I know, I don't think you can, but you can't directly target a wedding venue, can you?
No, but so for example, Hawkstone Hall is like an hour, 10 minutes from me. It's a class venue, get really good brides there. So for me, that's like an evergreen location. Like
But you can't. So you
as
can't
many
specifically target it though, can you, with a boosted ad?
no, as in the ad that I'd be running would be from Hawkstone Hall. It would be a wedding
Yeah.
that was shot at Hawkstone Hall.
The content would be there. Yeah, that's right. And you're going to
Yeah.
hope that maybe somebody's getting married at Hawkstone, sees
Yeah,
that
you
ad,
can you could still do
but
it
you can't.
regionally, and then the video is at that location, so it's gonna
Yeah, okay.
find people that isn't
Yeah,
it?
but say
Yeah, because
you booked
what
it.
you'll find as well, is like I've pushed ads for like the Cotswolds. Again, it's like an hour from me. It's the most beautiful closest place. But then maybe because of my style, I don't know, but a lot of the bookings I ended up getting there, people from London coming up.
Yeah,
So if I would have targeted the Cotswolds,
you want
I
that.
wouldn't have got
Yeah,
yeah. So I don't necessarily approach it like that. I approach it with I'm going to target England. I'm going to go for everyone because you don't know where people are coming from, and then I'm going to obviously put the video out from that venue specifically. So it's I'm basing it that way rather than going right down to regional because
Good point, because like you could
yeah.
well, you could target.
I do weddings
Yeah.
at Mitten down half an hour from us that, and the couple have come from Oxford, and like you just
So
don't
Yeah,
know.
if
yeah,
you
yeah,
regionally, they're not going to see you had to
Yeah,
live in London, are they?
yeah,
So yeah, that does make sense.
yeah. The last one I did at Mitten Hall, they were all from Manchester, so it's like
yeah.
it's not necessarily on the
Really have
doorstep.
ties or just we like that area, we
Yeah,
holiday. There's all
Yeah,
there's
people have got loads of different reasons.
Yeah.
I had a bride and groom before that they were from way down south and they'd come up to the Midlands and they were joking about it in the speeches. They were like, "Oh, thanks for picking this venue that none of us are from round here." And then I spoke to the couple. I said, "Oh, why is there some like significance? Is there some?" And she just went, "No, I was just searching for places, and this just was the exact place that I wanted."
That's what I'm
It's
doing.
just like, oh, yeah, like it happens. So, I think trying to target a location just because the venue's there isn't always the way to go.
Yeah, yeah, okay, that's interesting that because you would automatically think, well, I want to get weddings at that venue. I need to find a way to all the people are going to see my advert. I need them to follow that venue, but it's not necessarily the case, is it? Uh,
Uh, so
one thing I think is really important because this is what I stumbled across last week when I was boosting my posts was the music on my ad. So I've got so many of my posts that I can't boost because of the
Mm,
that is being used. So I want to. So in my mind, I thought if I um, create my ad within Instagram's app, I put my footage in, I'll get the music from Instagram. I'll put some whatever, some speaker notes of it as well. Put that in. I thought that was the safe way to make sure that you can boost it. But from what I've learned, you can't. You better get your music from somewhere else. Is that right? Can you not boost it if you're using music specifically from Instagram?
yeah, so I'm not completely clued up on this because sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, and I don't know what the science is there. I think it's to do with copyright, and
It will be.
as far as I can figure out, there's certain things that are like cleared by the Instagram library and they're fine to use, and certain things that aren't. I don't know what the differential is in that because I've had it with popular music that's been fine. I've had it with like a version of a song that's been took down, but then another version's fine. Like I don't really know the thing, but the way I do it is I just check if it's on the Instagram library, and typically if it's already on there, it does seem to be fine.
Not with me, it's not.
Oh, so when
So
I've boosted before, it said you can't boost it with this Instagram music. So I've just gone and sourced my own copyrighted stuff. And I assumed that it was anything from the library on Instagram, and it's obviously
Yeah.
chart music and things.
So with ads, I think ads are more particular. I think it's harder to get through the net. But with posting in general, I think that's the setup. With ads, yeah, you are right, because I've had that before. It says you can't post with this music. So yeah, like I say, I'm not too sure of the
So where do you get your music from then for your Instagram ads? Do you do it externally, maybe through Music Bed or whatever, and then upload that?
complete mixture, complete mixture. Sometimes I'll just hear songs that I really like and I'll use it. And if I can get away with it, I will.
Are you,
Um,
if it is in that case, are you adding the music within Instagram when you're making the reel?
no, no. Again, I don't know why, but it seems to get through the net better if you don't, if you just upload it. But then it's straight. This is what I'm saying. I don't fully understand it because it still detects the music because it will say in the little caption above the video, it'll say like may include
Yeah.
music from. So they obviously know that they've detected it, but yeah, I'm not so sure.
Yes.
Is that one that I sent you? I said, "Oh, do you think this would make a good advert?" And it had some footage from Stanley House, and I tried to upload that, and it won't let me do it. I'm like, "Fucking hell,
Well,
so
maybe the
annoying."
best practice, safest way to do it then is to
Do
just
it off.
upload it
Do
away
it.
from
Oh
Instagram,
wait, right,
add the
okay.
music in a editing software or wherever, and then upload it.
So get your music from CapCut or wherever you've got.
Yeah, but even
Yeah,
if you
pick
wanted
away.
to use,
I think going into your ad specifically, I think it was a really good ad. The only thing I would have changed, and this is because I've seen you perform, is for the speaking bit, I would have been wearing a suit because that's how you turn up on the day.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Dad. All right. Okay. I get that. Yeah, yeah. Maybe I should do it when I'm actually on a wedding and put that quote in. So
What you've got that a lot of people struggle with is you've got a lot of charisma and you're very comfortable doing the whole selfie talking to camera thing. So if I was you, I would completely run with that. Like me, as soon as I do talking to camera, I feel like an idiot. But for you, like you can tell it just doesn't bother you. So I would completely run with that and try and smash, especially through things like TikTok and stuff, that really kind of lean towards the organic side. I would I would go down that route and try and smash as much as that as
so
possible.
as far as give me some content ideas then. I'm not 100% sure what you mean.
Uh,
So Yeah, go on.
Because you're confident speaking to camera
Yeah.
and you're confident doing the selfie videos and stuff, that's almost like a skill in itself. That's people overlook it because they kind of take it for granted and just assume everyone can do it. But it is like a skill in itself. So I would do as much of that as possible. So like when you're at a wedding, maybe do it. Maybe clips of you performing. Um, just the constant talking to the camera goes down really well.
Okay.
Even if you're boosting it.
Yeah, yeah. Because just to give context for anyone listening, the ad you sent me was kind of you speaking to the camera, introducing yourself, saying what you're all about, showing you doing your craft, so like performing and entertaining. Yeah,
Was it with
yeah,
your?
it's my clip show. Um, and then obviously the call to action at the end. So it was a brilliant ad setup. And when you said it to me, I was like, yeah, I can't see why that wouldn't fly. Again, maybe the suit instead of the shirt, just because that's your brand. That's how you turn up looking sharp and stuff on the day.
Yeah, the reason why I did it like that, I tried to create a bit of an interesting point with having the turtle behind me. I just thought it might give quite a visual hook for people. Maybe what's that fucking turtle? But yeah, I get it. Yeah.
I saw the video of you stood in front of your turtle. It's like, oh, but I mean, it's different because I was like, what's he doing now?
To be honest,
The structure and the concept, it should work, I think.
I'm
But
going to do it differently because I've actually. I'm sure this is a question. So that wedding there was the wedding that we did together. It was at Middleton Lodge. So I'm
yeah,
not taking any more bookings at Middleton Lodge now. So probably best to take this down because people are going to see this and
back
think
at Middleton Lodge, yeah.
that's my venue.
You just
So
you just said it's not working.
what?
The ad's not working, so
Well,
don't
it's
be
not
worried
really
about it.
working by the way I've set it up now, which is a good thing because I don't want any more bookings at Middleton Lodge. Just made the decision to not work there again. So I need to take it down. And I've got another one from from Merridale Manor, which is a great video, and it's got the couple talking over the top of it as a little review for me, which they
Oh, that's good. That's really good.
put that over the top. It's the
Yeah,
first one on it's a pinned one on my grid, and the image says the best decision we made, and it got in there talking.
yeah.
I want to use that, but I can't boost it because of the music. So I'm going to redo this one and try this one.
So do you not have like clips of like actually you performing? Would that not get around the copyright issue? Because it's you,
Yeah,
not the
it's not that. I always put back. There's always background music. So when people take like the footage, you sent me. You've got your nice sexy music on the background.
Mm.
I've tried to do it with footage that I've got and put my own music on it via Instagram or wherever, and it's not allowing me to boost it because of the music. Um,
So for you, I think as well, a clip of you actually performing would be great because then you've got everything in the ad then because if you've got the couple qualifying you as the man to book, you've got the call to action, you've got the confidence and the charisma. As a couple, I would then want to see, okay, but what's he sound like? Like what's what's that bit?
yeah,
Um
it's always been an issue with live performers due to the fact that live audio at a wedding sounds shit because you've got
yeah,
loads of people cheering.
distortion. Yeah.
And for those, I mean, I've spent thousands on doing sort of recorded tracks in studios and putting them on jukebox. That's how I sound. It's on my website. And then to go onto a live recording and put that as an advert where I'm not probably sounding as good as I should because it's not coming across as good. I always get a bit worried about that. And I probably shouldn't because,
I wouldn't.
yeah, and people have said to me, you sound great. Maybe I'm just a bit too
Yeah.
critical on myself, perhaps, but I do get that.
I think that's
Important.
I think that's a good point because and it kind of goes back to what you were saying as well, Adam. When you try and be too perfectionist, you can put things out that you think are going to do a certain thing, and it's the video that you don't see coming that does numbers. So um, JOL Videography did the podcast recently with Rue, and he was talking about the clip that went mega viral.
It does.
It's
It's been ours last
it's
week.
done ours. It's due out any day.
So what was interesting about that is that bride came to me to book me, but I wasn't available. Um, and the reason is I had one of the very first viral videos of that format. So it was like the bride, she'd done the recording for the husband, he was waiting at the end of the aisle. Funny story, I didn't put it out purposefully because it was not well lit. The production value wasn't like, it didn't look great from like a videographer point of view. But the florist event organizer that I was working with, Beth at Etiquette Events, she put it out and it's done, I think, like 7 million views across Instagram and TikTok. That was massive for me because it was just such a wake up call to kind of say, you don't always know what's going to fly. Like, so in my mind, because I'm a videographer and I'm visual, I was always going for perfection, polished, it has to look crisp and all the rest of it. When really the video that made all my other views look like absolutely nothing was a video that emotionally hooked people. And what was interesting with Owen's video as well is I'm so glad that he got that booking and not me, because I never would have done that I never would have done what he did with that. And it was like a real wake up call moment, because it was like we would have gone to that day at Hawkstone, we would have captured the same content. I would have delivered a pretty reel from Hawkstone. He delivered a viral masterclass. So do you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
Same content, different approach, and you don't always know what's going to go, but what's a reliable determining factor is the hook, the emotional hook.
Got it. All right. Yeah.
That's funny, isn't it? Funny how things turn out. If you'd have,
Yeah.
not thought about it as much, you might have.
I can tell you for a fact I would have wasted that. For a fact, I would have wasted that. So yeah, it was a complete blessing that he went and smashed that, because I think you need to stay open and take the wake up calls as well, because you're not always going to be doing everything properly.
Story with Owen, and obviously we've got his podcast coming out any day. So if by the time you listen to this, everybody go check that out.
I think the outstanding point is, perfectionism is going to sometimes ruin your business. So yeah, sort of.
Well, on that point, then
I'm going to the toilet. You carry on.
Okay. Bloody fun, to be honest. I've got a word in it. On that point, what do you, when you've boosted your post and you've maybe got 2 or 3 and you've split testing it, what are you looking for? What's an indicator of something that's performing well versus something that's not?
Well, you can just go into the back end on Instagram. It's all set up for you, so you can see what's getting the most clicks and what's getting the most interaction. You don't have to search far for it. You can go into, I think it's called like Creators Insights or Business Insights or something like that. And it's all there for you, all the information you want.
Literally just you've got 2 running, say.
Yeah.
One's generating twice as many clicks than my profile. I'll just go with that one, and it's simple as that.
That's it, simple as that. And I say to people all the time, don't try and overcomplicate things, because a lot of people are guilty of that as well, where they're trying to, same thing I've just said, trying to be perfectionist, trying to get this like perfect method or like equation to like get all the bookings. But it's honestly just about testing. It's about, to be honest, fucking up and going back to the drawing board, figuring out where you went wrong, doing the same thing again. And it's just that constant feedback loop of like, that's working, drop that.
Failing's important. It's lessons, isn't it?
Yeah, fail
100%.
Love that. But because I think this would probably resonate with a lot of people listening. This is what I do. Every now and again, I go, yeah, I'm going to try an ad. I'll do it. I'll put 50 quid in it over a week or whatever. And then nothing happens. And I go,
yeah,
that didn't work. And then I give up for another 6 months.
Yeah. No, it's the cycle that a lot of people get sucked into, really. Ironically, again, this is why I always hammer home the point. It's about the approach, not the platform. So a lot of people will come to me and be like, oh, what do I do with Instagram ads? And I always say to people, you should be looking at ads and marketing in a broader sense. And the reason I say that is I actually learned about ads originally from Christian O'Reilly at Fire and Ice. And at the time, he was running Facebook ads. If you run Facebook ads now, you are getting nothing. But at the time, that's where ads were popping, basically. And he went with a completely different technique where he would like lump in a load of money, like 200, 300 pound over like 2 days. And he would like completely super boost using the same kind of thing, the females, age range, all the rest of it. And he would super boost over a couple of days. And I caught up with him last year, and he was saying like, oh, did you you're absolutely flying. Like, what did you do? Was it the Facebook ads? And I was saying to him like, no, I took the kind of the concepts and the lessons from that and applied it to Instagram because I could see Facebook was just dropping off. Um, and we probably over the next couple of years, I hope not because I've got such a base on Instagram, but we might see the same thing happen from Instagram to TikTok. So it's what I say to people is don't get too caught up on Instagram ads, the perfect ad for Instagram. Kind of look at it more of a broader thing of like, I should always be running ads. I should always be aware of social media. I should keep an eye on the algorithms and what's going on. So, for example, Instagram at the moment, they've fully gone down the pay to play route. So back in the day, you could go a lot more organically viral on Instagram a lot easier. Not to say it doesn't happen, like look at JOL, like of course it happens still, but it's a lot harder to do. Whereas if you are going down the paid route, they've made it almost easy to do because it's as simple as put money in.
It happened with Facebook.
Yeah, and it works great, but then it sometimes can be the death of the platform as well because people say, I don't want to do this. I'll just go for the organic route, which is where TikTok is at the moment. Whether TikTok will follow that, yeah,
again, potentially.
Exactly. Whether TikTok down the line will follow the same route and say, do you know what, we're missing out on millions, let's also go that route, could happen as well.
Can you run TikTok ads in a similar vein to Instagram? And do you do that?
You can run TikTok ads. I am very much in the experimentation phase. So for Instagram, I'd say I have like a very set formula. I know what I'm doing. I know, and I can, like I've just talked you through it, I can kind of say, do this, this, and this, and it will, to some extent, work depending on if you have the brand and everything. If you have the organic side sorted, it will work. Whereas with TikTok, I'm touching on it. I'm very aware of it, and I'm very aware of it's important. Like I need to be on there. But I don't have my hooks in yet. I'm still very much figuring it out.
We'll get you back next year and you can tell us all about it.
That's it.
See, we won't have got any further.
Yeah, that's it. You could say like, Matt, you're now doing 200 weddings a year off TikTok. What's the
when you get an inquiry then through and it's come through, I mean, would you even know if it's come through an ad? I was going to ask, how do you then, does your approach differ if you've got an inquiry that's come through an ad versus one that's come organically?
No. It's exactly the same. There's no kind of
getting these inquiries. That's the point of the ad, but then you've still convert them, haven't you?
Yeah, that's it. And then in terms of conversion, I'm not doing anything that's very special that anyone else isn't doing. I'm kind of just doing the calls and the brochure and all the rest of it. There's no secret sauce there. For me, the secret sauce is very much getting in front of people, getting people interested and through the door. And then everything you do after that really is, like I say, it's kind of what everyone else is doing. In fact, I'd say after watching you in Scotland, you've probably got that part of it nailed a lot more than I have. I was taking notes when you were giving your whole process and
Sorry, I was like
whole setup and
going back to what you were saying, I think the next process is equally important, is how to actually get that booking nailed. You spent the money on the ad, you've got them at your front door. Now you've got to nail that in. And I think there's another process which is really important moving on for there, which we talk about in the course that me and Adam do, how to talk to calls, touching on pain points and how you even interact with that inquiry, I think can also
So I was in Scotland. I was getting a masterclass from Adam about all of this. So I was like scribbling away.
It all came from me, that, by the way, in case you're wondering.
There you go. Give Adam the credit. I was scribbling away.
Yeah, most of it was Howard. So
just because obviously the business is like a whole structure, isn't it? So just because you've got one part nailed, you have to stay open because you might completely be not capitalizing on another part. And a massive thing for me this year that I'm kind of like, why was I not doing this sooner, is upselling. So I bought Aaron Kenny's email templates, and Aaron said to me, he's like, what are you doing? Like, I don't think you need these templates. And I was just saying to him, like, mate, I always stay open. I'm always open to anyone's ideas or anything like that. And then off the back of that, I've made £8,000 this year off one of his emails, which basically said after the 6 months or whatever, he offers a documentary edit, which is like the raw footage, nicely put together on the timeline. audio cleaned up, footage cleaned up, just like a really old school 1990s home video style, just the whole thing.
After the wedding.
Um, after the wedding, yeah, and it's just something I was never doing, like upselling. Um, so there's potentially probably loads of money being left on the table, but
Great, great to
I'm getting through it. I'm getting through it.
because you're doing a good number of weddings. It's a high number of weddings. So being out there working, being busier, you've got more
Yeah,
opportunity to upsell, and therefore it generates more, doesn't it?
yeah,
I
and
did it. I'm only gonna
it's
get, you know,
And that, you know what, that's a brilliant idea, that Matt, because I mean, we've talked about this in the past where a year after the wedding, you can get in touch with the couple, say, right, I'm just cleaning all my hard drives up. Do you want to buy
that's it. Yeah,
that? But that takes it to the even next level, doesn't it? You're adding another service there,
yeah,
which has got more value to it. So and it's a good point.
yeah, 100%. And shout out to Aaron because I can't take credit for that because in 9 years I hadn't thought to do that. But yeah, it's just about being open. I think the death of any business is when you decide that you've got it all figured out,
yeah,
and you don't need to take on like any kind of new advice or anything like that.
yeah.
I mean, it's a dead simple one, which again, I found out this last night is when you send an inquiry out, is instantly follow up via WhatsApp or messaging or a voice note on Instagram, because the woman got straight back to me and said, "Oh, I'm glad you messaged me because I've not received your email reply because it's got
Ah,
a junk box."
yeah,
So how
yeah,
many people are just going to send out their reply and not do anything else? And
yeah,
people think they're being rude, they haven't replied to them, but it's just sat in their junk box. So
Yeah.
a massive, massive win that last night. And then they think we've arranged a meeting on the back of it. So they wouldn't have even known I'd sent the reply if I didn't follow up.
yeah.
Tiny
No,
little.
I've had similar things. I've had like photographers say like, "Oh yeah, I put you forward to that wedding. They said you never replied," and then I'm like, "Oh no, I did." And then I'll
Happens to me.
Instagram them, and they'll be like, "Oh, you were in my junk," and it's like, "Oh man, like same thing you've said there. How many have I missed out on?"
Someone else, and they booked someone else in
Yeah,
because you didn't get.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, all right. Mate.
Okay, maybe to end on, for someone who's just like a bit like me, I don't do any ads, but I want to start.
yeah.
What should I be thinking about?
I think it's
I would 100 million trillion percent focus on the brand first. So the ads are going to get them to look at your work, and it's going to put you in front of them. But if the brand isn't set up and you're not attracting what you want to attract to begin with, you'll bring in a load of stuff you don't want through the door. So the ads bring the numbers, the organic brings the brand. And if you look at like my Instagram, it's so particular in terms of nearly everyone in there is in a tuxedo. Nearly everyone's an editorial type couple.
It's
Nearly everyone's had a banging party.
You've
It's
got
like
a nice looking feed. Mine's not so much. Mine's a bit scatty. So I guess making your feed look as visually and especially for us as a visual service.
consistency as well is massive. Like there's a lot of people that will come to me for advice and stuff, and they'll be like, "Oh, can you help me out and stuff like that?" And especially with like newbies and stuff, I'll always try and help. And the first thing that I see is like, you've got one wedding on a farm, everyone's in tweed. You've got one black tie wedding. You've got one alternative wedding where they've got tattoos all over them. There's no brand. It's like,
That's like me.
yeah, but you've got everything in there, and no, there's no wrong or right with this, but there's always going to be a preference. Like if you sit there and think, what was the wedding I loved shooting? Like some people will be like, oh, forget all that editorial stuff. I want to be on a farm with hay bales. Like there's no wrong or right. It's just what you want.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so if that's what you want, your whole feed should be in cornfields, tweed everywhere. Like it should be consistent. That's what it should be all over. And the same thing with like if you want to do stately homes, the same thing if you want to do London elopements, the same thing if you want to do alternative rock weddings. Like
Yeah.
it should be that this is the type of wedding I do. If you're that type of couple, we work. That's as simple as the psychology should be.
Yeah, got it. That's
Cool.
good. It's interesting this because I know this and I've thought about it, and my Instagram grid is completely fucked. But now I'm thinking I could probably go back, but there'd be a hell of a lot of work to go and take off some posts, only include the ones I want,
Yeah.
and really cull it down, change my lead image maybe if it's a video, and make sure it's a hell of a lot of work, isn't it? I think moving forward, just be consistent with how you want your grid to look, and eventually it'll all start filling up the top part of your grid. So
Yeah, and it is a snowball effect because I do such high volume weddings. I've got such a big catalog to choose from, so I can be like very, very specific in what I'm picking out to put out.
it's
Um,
And I think this is a great byproduct of what you do because there'll be people that are going, "Oh, I wouldn't want to do that many weddings. That's ridiculous." But the more weddings you're doing, the more content you got, the more you meet people,
Yeah,
the more you're getting out
Yeah,
there.
and if you can
It's
outsource
good,
your
you know.
editing to take off that workload, then there's no reason why you can't do 120 weddings if you've got a great editor.
yeah, and the thing is as well, when you're physically turning up to places, you're making like me and you, Howard, the other week, like you physically make connections with people, and it's not weird and it's not forced and it's not like a networking event. Like you're meeting people at work and you get on with them and you have a good day, and then the amount of like, well, not accidental referrals, but the amount of stuff that comes through that, where
Yeah.
it's just like people going, "Oh, yeah, oh no, I know someone. Yeah, he's really sound. Like, we'll get him in." Um,
Mate, our
like that.
turning point to actually knowing each other was at 3 a.m. in a taxi squashed in the back of
It
a.
was. It was.
You just never know where these connections
You
are.
never know. And you know what? Scotland. The main reason I was in Scotland was for Greg. Um, but then when I saw you on there, I was like, "That's wicked," because I was like, "It's so long overdue that we haven't met." And then yeah, we met absolutely wrecked. So that was a beautiful thing.
It's absolutely smashed in Glasgow at like 3 in the morning. Off them drink.
With Rue falling out of a taxi.
Yeah, what are they called? Venoms, the Scottish drink.
What is it like a
Never
green?
again.
It's green, yeah. It's Blue Wicked and some various, very strong, lots
Sounds
of
like the
alcohol.
old blue, the old green monsters that back. I think we're done here, Adam. I've just, for me, this has been one of the best podcasts ever. It really is such a good topic. Really, thanks for coming on, mate. I really appreciate it. It's
Mm.
mega.
No
Um,
worries. I'm always conscious of like delivering when I do
Well,
these
no, yeah,
we
podcasts.
do.
great.
We've got a couple
A
of
couple
finishing
of,
questions, but
Yeah, yeah.
just to, if anyone's interested, are you reachable? Do you offer this as sort of mentoring or anything, or you just help people out, or if anyone?
So so basically, I've been going back and forth loads with this because I everything I do in business is based on demand, and my inbox is flooded with people kind of asking for this service. So I'm putting together something quite extensive and big. I don't think I want to go to the course route. I think it might be more mentorship and online coaching, but there'll be announcements on it. But in the meantime, if you just want to jump in my inbox or you've got any kind of outstanding questions, I'm chronically online, so
yeah.
I'll come back to you.
Mm.
Cool.
Right,
Nice one,
brilliant,
mate.
brilliant.
Yeah, so to wrap up then, we always ask everybody what their most hilarious, embarrassing, fail wedding story is.
Or any noteworthy story from a wedding that really stands out. Something went wrong, or
He's
Do you know what? I've got a few to choose from. I've I've got one from the other day
not
that
censored. You're not censored at all.
no, but I am by my own business.
Okay, fair enough.
got to protect his
He's
clients,
got to
hasn't he?
protect his clients.
Yeah, there's a recent one, but I can't tell that one. So okay, I'll tell you a good one. My first ever Lake Como wedding. Um, we flew out. I took a second shooter with me, and the planner was really insistent that we all stay together in this apartment. So I said, "Cool, like this is your gig. You've got me on board. Like, let's do it." So we all flew out. We rock up to this Airbnb. It's beautiful. It's in Chernobyl. We've got a great view. Like everything's all good. Um, and the bride and groom, the bride side were Polish, so some of her family completely could not speak English. So the planner, and it was a good idea to begin with. The planner had spoke to her assistant, who just happened to be Polish, and had said, "Can you fly in one of your friends just to literally be with the family and just translate all day, just go back and forth and kind of translate?" And it's like, yeah, cool. Um, so this guy flies in, legendary guy, loved a drink, right? So he comes from the airport and he's already smashed. But I thought, you know what? Nervous flyer. This is the day before the wedding. Nervous flyer, like I'm not gonna hate on the guy, like whatever. So we're chilling, he seems really friendly, like everything's all good. And then about 3 a.m. in the morning, we've all gone to sleep. And I can just hear in the hallway, oh fuck, oh for fuck's sakes. I'm like, what the hell's going on? So walked out, opened the door, and my second shooter's there, just like, what the fuck, like in shock. What the fuck? What the fuck? I'm like, what was going on? What's going on? And he says, this guy's the assistant's friend. He's like, he's just pissed in my suitcase. And then and then tried to get in bed with me. And I'm like, what? Like I'm like, what? Like, what? I'm still half asleep. I'm like, what is going on? So I'm like, okay, this is mental. I'm like, right. So he doesn't feel safe being in his room now alone because this random Polish guy is trying to get into bed with him and pissing in his suitcase. So he's just woke up in the middle of the night and he's in the corner pissing in his suitcase. So I said, so he ended up in my double bed. I'm not a small guy, so we woke up anyway. We crack on. We're just like at this point we're like, what the hell is going on? The planner's fuming, obviously. Um, we go to the wedding. We smash the wedding. Really happy with how everything's gone. And then about 10 on the night or something like that, the Villa Piso, so the kitchens are kind of like quite connected to where the main room is. And I can just hear this screaming, and he's like going off. He's going mad, top of his voice, screaming. Long story short, he had to be accompanied off the premises by security because he'd just gone full turbo. But essentially, what had happened was this guy. I don't know if he had a drink problem or what. He had a party problem. Let's put it that way. And he'd arrived at the wedding, and just by pure coincidence, the lads from the family in Poland, were from the exact town this guy was from. So they'd gone like, "Oh my God, this is brilliant. You've got a drink with us." He's clearly not shy about partying anyway. So he's just got on it all day with them, thinking this is the best gig in the world. I'm just translating and slowly getting drunk on free alcohol. So yeah, it was mental. Absolutely mental.
That is.
I was waiting for the and then he did it again on the wedding night and tried to pin him against the wall or something.
No, after he got thrown out of the wedding and then he was sent on the plane home. So that was the end. That was the end of it.
I think.
Have you ever worked with this second shooter again?
Yeah.
Multiple times.
We were going from Lake Como to Sicily 3 days after. So we were in the square in Como Central, and I was just like, look, if you want to go home, I completely understand. I was like, because I've never had anything like that. I don't even know what to say. And he was like, he thought about it. He looked at the flights. It was going to be more hassle to go home.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Do you know what? Let's just crack on." I was like, right, cool. So we finished our coffee and whatever. And then I got a ping through on my phone, and the flight to Sicily had been cancelled because the volcano in Sicily had erupted. So I was just like, at this point, I was just like, of course it has, of course it has. So then, yeah, that was a whole drama, and we had to run to the airport, fly into a different airport. But as we got to the desk, our original airport pinged back up. So we quickly transferred back onto the original flight, got to Sicily, smashed that, got home, and we were just like, what the hell was that?
Mate, you've got stories forever here.
Just don't do destinations.
You've got stories forever. It's absolutely
Telling you.
favorite stories. I
Think
think
we've had.
yours and Andy Murphy's, which was kind of the one that same wedding as mine.
It's proper that. It's like
Yeah.
not your usual wedding mishap, that is it?
Do you know what? I was so gutted that I hadn't like BTS'd it or something. Because I was like, this is like a documentary. Like it was mental. Like the amount of stuff that just was off and weird, but we still like smashed it. Still two of my favorite videos, but the experience itself was crazy.
Right,
Wow.
we've got a question from our last guest, which goes to you, and then we're going to ask you for a question for the next guest. So, what was the last question? Can you remember?
Yeah, it's on here. Yeah,
Oh,
I write them down.
Well done, Adam.
So the last guest, which was there's two questions because the last guest was Georgina Rose events.
Oh yeah, Georgia, yeah.
Yeah, she went, who's this question for? I told her. She was like, right, ask him who his most famous friend is.
Most famous friend.
Yeah.
I don't hang around with famous people.
So she thought you were going to say her.
Excluding us two. But...
Oh yeah,
You
it
were
is.
supposed to say her instead.
Yeah, no, let's redo that. Let's redo that.
Right, who's your most famous friend?
Georgina Rose.
Yeah,
I said that wouldn't work. She was like, ask him that, he'll definitely say me.
No, it's because it's actually not her having a giant ego. Let me defend her. It's because we have a running joke. Because whenever I rock up to weddings, the amount of times people will say to me, "Oh yeah, because you've been on that famous podcast," and I'm like, "What?" And they're like, like Georgina Rose. And I'm like, it's really funny to me because obviously, I'll see her like I see you, like with friends kind of thing. But in the like wedding space, she's like mega celeb.
Yeah, she must have been. She said she told us this backstory. She was like, ask him who his most famous friend is. That worked well. Yeah, so Georgina's question was, what's one thing that you would change about the wedding industry?
Oh, how long have you got? The entitlement.
Yes.
The entitlement, 100%. I think we have one of the best jobs in the world, and the amount of bitching and complaining I hear about it on a daily basis is mental. The amount of people that feel like they're entitled to better work or better jobs but don't actually do anything to accomplish it. The amount of people that are bitter about workshops and advertising, and I could go on all day. There's a lot of issues, and I think it comes from scarcity, to be honest. I think people will often look at people who are doing a lot or getting all the bookings and feel resentment, almost like my work's just as good, and I'm like, yeah, but no one sees it.
Yep.
So you know, it all comes back to the same thing. And I'll openly say, like, I don't think I'm the best wedding videographer in the UK. I'll put myself top 10. I'll happily do that, but I wouldn't say like I am number one, I am the best. But that, like, yeah, like you've just said, it doesn't necessarily translate like that. Like, if you have the better business, the better branding, the better you will do better. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, define success, you know.
Yeah.
You've got a great business model, and if you're happy with what you're doing and it works for you, then you've made it. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can we have a question for our next guest, please?
It's a bit of a generic one, but I think it's just an important one because of the kind of response I would hope it would bring up some interesting answers. I would ask, what was the single biggest light bulb moment of your whole career?
Cool. I will write that down so we don't.
Wow. My one instantly clicked in for me then. As you just said it, the answer for me just pinged off in my head then. So yeah, it could be. I think other people know that probably straight away. Have you got an answer for that? Yeah, there you go. Right, mate. Thank you very
Brilliant.
much.
Nice one,
No
mate.
worries. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. For anyone listening, PS visuals everywhere, but Instagram, I guess, is your main protocol, as we've discussed, and that was really beneficial, I hope.
One of my favourites.
Love
100%.
that.
Take it easy. Thank you so much.
You're a star, mate. Thanks so
No
much.
worries. Thanks, guys.
See you next time. See you in a year. We'll do the TikTok video.
Yeah.
So thanks so much for listening. We really hope that you found this episode insightful, inspirational, and if you did enjoy that, then please consider subscribing to us wherever you get your podcasts, iTunes, Spotify. We're Think Wedding Business.
We're also on YouTube and Instagram. So if you want to watch us, you can go over to YouTube and find us at Think Wedding Business. And the same over on Instagram to keep up with all of our future episodes.
We'd really love you to subscribe and join us on this journey. And if you do like this content, please consider giving us a 5-star review. It just helps us get seen and helps spread the word.
So thanks again for listening,
Wings
and we'll see you
out.
next time.
Bye-bye.